Tracy Arm Fjord, a journey into Alaska's wild heart. On this day, the carnival spirit sails not just to a destination, but into a wonder carved by time, ice, and silence. Tracy Arm Fjord, a place where nature whispers and the soul listens. Early morning finds us all drawn to the deck. The air is crisp, cool, and fresh, carrying the scent of salt, pine, and glacier mist. Wrapped in blankets and jackets, passengers gather with quiet anticipation, knowing something extraordinary lies ahead. As the ship enters the narrow passageway, we're flanked by towering granite cliffs, sculpted over millennia by the crushing force of ancient glaciers. These walls rise nearly 4,000 feet from the icy waters, creating a natural corridor of epic proportions. Waterfalls pour from every angle, tumbling from unseen alpine lakes and snowmelt far above. Some fall in thin silver ribbons, others thunder down in wide cascades. They dance with the wind and vanish into mist before touching the sea. Down below, the water tells a quieter story. Glacial ice drifts past us, brilliant white and electric blue, each piece a fragment from deep within the fjord, each one older than any of us can imagine. Here, voices soften, laughter fades. There's a shared reverence among strangers, a moment of unity and stillness, as we are humbled by the wild majesty surrounding us. The crew occasionally calls out sightings, bald eagle to starboard, or look, harbor seals resting on the ice, and binoculars rise as we try to take it all in. Wildlife lives here, freely and quietly, undisturbed in this remote sanctuary. At the heart of the fjord, if conditions allow, we approach the towering face of Sawyer Glacier. Massive, blue, alive, its surface crackles and shifts, hinting at the timeless forces at play beneath. If we're lucky, we may witness a calving, a thunderous crash as ice breaks and falls into the sea, a reminder that this place is still moving, still breathing. Children stare wide-eyed, pointing at the ice. Parents wrap arms around each other. Friends exchange quiet glances. No one leaves untouched. This isn't just sightseeing, it's something spiritual, grounding, a rare moment where nature leads, and we simply follow. Eventually, we begin to turn back, but none of us feel like we're leaving empty-handed. We've been somewhere ancient and wild, a place that reminds us how small we are, and how beautiful that truth can be. This journey to Tracy Arm Fjord is more than a highlight on the map. It's a passage through silence, power, and wonder. One that stays with you, long after the ice, the cliffs, and the waterfalls slip from view.
ship is manipulation and how canyon. Ooh, awesome.